Take any more languages? Translated. Oh, I found out who that guy in that cartoon is. I taught South Kent School, first 2 years. That was it. My proficiency in grammar is chopping vegetables. I can read, but I can't tell you how much. I know a little bit of Ukrainian, some Polish. I know the bad expressions in Greek. Sarge to the elbow. Hopefully there won't be a lot of passing. Right over there. Really? And she's not going to be alive. Oh my God. Do I need Mr. C? My grandniece is graduating from this.
So, Pilates, seriously, give it a try.
I live in Monroe.
There's so many
Tell everybody now. My kids grew up in Canaan. They love Canaan. I worked in Canaan, but I'm from Texas.
I can write it down. It might be like a whole
I'm not from around here.
It's still like, numb and
I'm gonna sit down over here. What's this guy right here?
You never know what's fine.
Yeah, it's Pilates. Seriously, it's not just women. It's not
I retired teacher. But I've been a substitute in Fairfield High School. I coached up there after I retired.
Get it to you?
And I hope you go. I only did one school. I don't know if I'll call it. 30 seconds, 25 seconds. Play clock, not the play clock. There's somebody over there. Cell phone. Just check it in.
Coach?
Things have changed. I don't know how long you want somebody to do it. I can't get people to work.
I wonder what numbers weren't taken.
I looked, it's like 20, it's 1, 22, 23. I don't know about the other one.
You said 96.
They have 96 players.
Yeah, there's only 99 numbers. There's only 99 numbers.
Yeah, I know they have 96 roster players.
I'm sorry?
Because they're missing 22, 23, 1,
That's it.
and a couple other numbers. No, because, I mean, I just took 47, there's 47 names in the first row, and then if you go across, then there's times the same.
Well, it's not.
It is.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Hurry up, Tony. What you gotta do now? No. Okay, Rams getting ready to come out here, guys? They're coming out now. Ladies and gentlemen, down on the field, here come the Rams! This is Bob Vanderheek. Welcome back after the longest official timeout in the history of Ram football. Our administration, athletic department, booster club, coaches, players, and cheerleaders welcome you to come to the field at Haas Plaza on the campus of New Canaan High School. Home of the 2019 Turkey Bowl champions, the Rams, and our head coach, Lou Marinelli. Coach Marinelli is 30 years head coach of the Rams, with a record of 306 and 102 losses. He is the winningest high school football coach in Connecticut history. Congratulations, Lou. Quite an accomplishment. Buchanan says hello to players, coaches, cheerleaders from Brien McMahon High School and their head coach, Jeff Karoka. Last week, the Rams beat Bridgeport Central 49-0 to set their
No, you're not. You're good.
Are you ready for some high school football? Ladies and gentlemen, tonight the Rams will honor
One.
football and wrestling captain Ryan Gilderman, who died of an undiagnosed heart condition in 2000. Please remain in your seats at halftime for a tribute to Ryan Gilderman. Now what are we doing? Coin toss.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Dunning Stadium. For the first time in 653 days, we have live high school football. Today, it's the New Canaan Rams taking on the Brien McMahon Senators.
And both these teams are two different sides of the coin. New Canaan, high expectations year after year, 9-3 in 2019. They're looking to keep up that success, trying to make the playoffs, keep their streak alive. They have not missed the playoffs since 2004. That's quite a feat. Only 8 teams make the playoffs in each division, as a reminder. And on the other hand, Coach Jeff Quiroga is in his 4th year for the Senators. They finished 2-8 in 2019, and he is yet to have a winning season with the team. They're looking to turn that around, but they came off to a rocky start against Wilton last week, getting blanked on their home field.
It is certainly a tale of the underdogs here. New Canaan with massive shoes to fill, especially with their quarterback. If you remember, Drew Pine graduated, and due to the COVID shutdown on football, we've not seen a quarterback. But senior captain Henry Cunny is up to the challenge. He'll be playing in the number 10 today.
Number 6.
Sorry, number 6. New Canaan is coached by head coach Lou Marinelli, and it's his 40th season with the Rams. He has a record of 340 wins, 102 losses, and 6 draws. The winningest coach in FCAC history.
As well as state history, Cole, but we talk all this talk about the quarterback, how we're going to replace Drew Pine, but the real focus on the game plan here tonight, I believe, is going to be the run game. We've had some on and off rain showers throughout the night. We're going to expect some more. And with this Rams veteran offensive line, which is likely the strongest point of their team, led by Captain Ned Brady, West Point commit, and Stephen Lucarelli. They're going to be looking to pound the ball up the gut all night long.
led by Bussy's Bomb Squad. Leaders By the new Canaan Rams so far. 4 minutes and 43 seconds left in this first quarter, and the Rams are not showing any signs of slowing down. It is Rams 21, Senators, Brien McMahon Senators 20.
And Cole, all I'm wondering is, when do you bring in the backups? That's the key to sustaining success as a football program. Getting younger players opportunities earlier and earlier in the games, and you do that by getting big leads.
And Ty Groff sends this kickoff long and into the end zone for a touchback.
And that's going to be the second touchback of the night for Groff, which is a very highly regarded stat for kickers at the high school level.
And now we'll be seeing junior quarterback Callum Letters. This is his first year playing as quarterback for the Senators.
He did see some time at St. Luke's these past couple of years, but tonight he has been entirely shut down. Maybe it's the weather, but I've been really impressed by the pass rush. He has not had time to breathe.
He did have to get out of the pocket there. His offensive line really hasn't been holding up so far, and he only got the ball off, throwing it to the receiver's feet, and that is incomplete. This is 2nd and 10 coming up.
Canaan's defense has really been smothering tonight. There's plenty of words I could use, but all of them are positive.
Total domination so far. The only yards the Brien men have been able to get are on the run, and they will do so again here. For a gain? Just kidding. He will be stuffed at the line of scrimmage.
And this is the first year for Brien McMahon, passing game coordinator, Joe Santalucia. But 8 minutes into this first quarter of action, they have not completed a pass yet, Cole. That's not good.
It's been really poor, but that cannot be attributed only to Brien McMahon. The Rams would like to say that they have had a fantastic defensive performance, as this one is nearly caught, but it slips out of the hands of the receiver under pressure from number 10, Chris Bopp, who's playing as one of the corners for the Rams.
And New Canaan's been blitzing all night long. Senators have not had an answer for it. Their offensive line is really struggling. And we have an injury on the field.
This is an official's timeout now.
The award ceremony, emceed by Terry Diamond, starts at 12. One follows, all in the back patio main college. Congratulations to this year's honorees: Bobby Festo, Paul Gallo, Tom McInerney, Luke Sochi.
The new Canaan coaches and the Brien McMahon coaches making their way over to make sure that their receiver, number 11, Nick Jesse Chum, is okay after somewhat of a rough hit. Illegal, but a rough hit from Chris Bopp.
And injuries are really, you hate to see them, especially at the high school level, because you have such a finite amount of time. You really want to make the most of it, and really a terrible sight. Second game of the year.
Very true. It's only the second game of the season as Nick Jesse Chum is able to get to his feet, which is a good sign, although he is limping heavily on that left leg.
Yes.
And it's looking like the punt team will come out on the field for Senators. They've punted every possession aside from the pick six.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Where are we here? 4th down and 9. Who's dropping back? Yeah. 4th down and 9 for the Senators.
This is going to be number 8, Jack Lawley, on the punt for the Senators. And that one is not blocked like the last punt, and it is caught. And it will be returned all the way to the 39 by number 20, Captain Connor Bailey.
And Connor Bailey, such a cerebral player. He's not the biggest guy on the field, but he knows where he's supposed to be, and he executes the best of his ability every time.
Well, that's what drives this New Canaan team, is their football intellect, as well as some of the pure size they have, especially looking at some of these offensive linemen here that are protecting senior quarterback Henry Cunny.
And if you have not been paying attention tonight, New Canaan is winning this game in the trenches.
And this is going to be Connor Bailey on the rush. And he makes it for a gain of 4.
New Canaan's offense, outside of that first bomb to Jack McPhillips, has really been centered around the run. It's been working.
But it does make sense from a tactical standpoint, doesn't it? With all the rain that came before the game, the field is still wet. And we've already seen quite the number of passes dropped. Although this one is not, as it is caught and stays inbounds by number 9, Andrew Rechteman, the senior wide receiver.
He's a legacy. He's had a few brothers come through this program, so while this is his first time in a varsity uniform making these plays, he certainly knows what it's like from his brothers.
And there's Connor Bailey yet again. He's going to take this one all the way to the house. Connor Bailey, touchdown for the Rams.
An absolute finale there, set up by juniors Graham Ladley and senior Julian Brien. He had
some fantastic blocking there from New Canaan.
He broke once and he saw the light of day.
Brien McMahon's safeties were not able to get to him. And that was a fantastic 30-yard.
Pardon. It'll be called back. There was a holding on the play.
What a disappointment. That was a great call there. And a great run by Connor Bailey that was only marred by the holding.
This crowd's not super happy with the call, but when you're up 21-0, it's hard to stay mad for a long time.
Cunny drops back in the pocket and scrambles. As he is able to get out and throw an absolute dot to number 17, Max Alert. That was a great recovery by Cunny as he was under pressure by the Brien McMahon blitz, but he was able to scramble and find Salert open on the close side of the field.
It's going to be 3rd and short here. An incredible play by Cunny to keep his eyes down the field and find the open receiver. A lot of quarterbacks, when the pocket collapses, they look to run first, but Henry kept his eyes downfield.
And New Canaan's going to slow down the play clock here, still have 15 seconds on the ball. They pride themselves on a really fast offense with the ability to dictate the tempo at times. And that one is Connor Bailey again on the rush. And he takes it all the way to the Brien McMahon 6-yard line.
Well,
1st and goal.
When you have so much depth on this roster, 96 rostered players for tonight, it's easy to run plays so fast because you can sub guys in and out of the game without getting tired.
And that one is just overthrown by Cunny. One of the first throws that has not been completed by him tonight. That one was intended for number 3, Jack McPhillips, the senior wideout, but was too far to his right.
There's another injury for McMahon. Really hate to see it.
This has been a really bad break so far for Brien McMahon. Not only are they down by 3 touchdowns, but they also have had 2 injuries so far in this first quarter, with only 1 minute and 58 seconds left.
In these situations, you can only hope and pray that it's something minor, like a cramp or a sprained ankle. You really don't want to see these guys lose their season. They only have so much time.
Hopefully this isn't worse than a sprain, because the McMahon player has been on the ground for quite some time now.
And now with the injured player off the field, we can get back to playing some football.
Play resumes after that unfortunate injury by McMahon. Henry Cunny lining up at quarterback once again with Dom Rasso, the junior fullback, on his right. Rasso given the ball here, and he breaks a tackle and gets it in for the touchdown.
Dom Rasso's really a fan favorite. This crowd loves him, and it is 27-0.
Really couldn't have been a better start here for New Canaan.
Rolling is a touchdown on the field. I don't know what those names are.
There's some dispute over the ruling on the field, but call will stand. Touchdown. Alex Benevento to hold, affectionately known as Benny.
Here is Ty Groff for the point after. And it is good once again. He is 4 on point afters, despite having missed the only field goal that he was offered so far this game.
And Brien McMahon played Wilton last week. And Wilton was a pretty good team. They made states in 2019. But for reference, the final score of that game was 28-0. It's 28-0 with 1:33 left in the first quarter here.
It's got to be pretty demoralizing for the Senators here.
It looks like the kick is going to be moved back due to a penalty of some sort. Possibly on the celebration.
And it's going to be a kick from the Rams' own 25.
This has been the biggest problem for the Rams all night, the penalties. First one coming on Bailey's first kick return. The second one coming on a touchdown run that got called back. And the third one here on the kickoff. As you mentioned, kickoff has really been the strong point in Brien McMahon's game throughout the year so far. And they've got golden opportunity here.
Despite the loss of yardage, it's still a good kick there, and it's dropped by McMahon, who opts to dive on the ball. And that will be taken at the 29-yard line for McMahon. This is going to be junior quarterback Callum Letters on the field once again. The last few drives that he has had have not been up to standard for him, though.
Letters is still to complete a pass. We'll see if he can do that for the first time all night.
And that's going to be stuffed at the line of scrimmage.
It's actually going to be a loss of 3 or 4. And for this new Canaan defense, it's been sunshine and rainbows all night long. They've gotten whatever they want against this Brien McMahon offensive line.
Well, that really starts with their defensive line, which has been outstanding so far.
Obviously led by Captain Ed Brady and as well as senior Luke Thomas. Rams running a 3-4. But they often send both outside linebackers.
Nearly a sack there on Letters, but the pass is incomplete as he just barely managed to get it off to wide receiver Jack Valle.
Jack
That
Valle
pass was broken up, though, as they have both safeties and cornerbacks on him. Really impressive work by the New Canaan back line in the defense.
secondary call. I know you're learning. But Jack Volley, he's a big guy, 6'4", 215. Impressive job by New Canaan to jar the ball free when he had so much of a physical advantage there.
And there's another McMahon player down on their far sideline here. It's been an absolutely terrible start to this game for them. 3 injuries, 4 touchdowns in the first quarter.
And you mentioned to me earlier, Cole,
And it gets even worse. Another loss of about 5 yards.
well, you mentioned
Letters
earlier to
heads
me,
it off.
Cole, you said that you talked to Coach Chris Silvestri, and that their goal all night long is to make the other team give up. First quarter's winding down, and Senators are still in negative yards for the night. Really not able to get anything going. 4th and 20 here to punt, but it looks like they'll run the clock down.
Well, they have not had a first down yet in this game, and that will stay.
And the boys are going to flip the field here for the second quarter.
And as the first quarter winds down, we're going to hear from our sideline reporter, Perrin Tomasco.
Hey, thanks guys. I'm in the booth today because our cameras are running down because of the weather. But the touchdowns, we've had 4 so far. Henry Cunny has had a great game by running in 2 already after the second play of the series, as well as junior Dom Rasso, who is a running back on this team, who's had some great offensive plays, as well as Connor Bailey, who's been receiving the kickoff, as well as scoring a touchdown to make it 28-0.
Thank you very much, Perrin. And that's some great analysis. Marinelli has said that one of Cunny's strengths is his run ability, and they haven't had any quarterback with the same feet that Cunny has had. But let's send it down to the field where it will be the punt from Vale, and this one is up and will be a...
Takes a friendly roll into New Canaan territory. They will start at their own 46-yard line. This is the second time all night that New Canaan has ran a play on their own side of the field goal.
Well, it just shows how well their defense has been able to recover the ball and push the Senators back so far into their own half that they haven't been able to punt out of it. Really sets up the New Canaan offense for success, and they will look to achieve the same here. Senior captain Henry Cunny lining up for the snap once again.
Trips left formation here, looking like a passing down for the Rams.
And it will be a shallow throw, but number 33, Hunter Telesco, will take it all the way home for the Rams. That's a 54-yard touchdown, and that will be 34-0 Rams.
That is Henry Cunny's first passing touchdown of the night. He had 2 against Central. And it is not looking good if you're a Brien McMahon fan.
Only 24 seconds into this second quarter, and they have already conceded. Ty Groff is out on the field again for the point after. Groff, a junior, takes it, and it is good.
Ty Groff with the extra point as the team come up the field. The Rams 35 to 7-0.
And New Canaan has ran 2 plays from inside their own territory. Total yards on those 2 plays, 104 yards and 1 touchdown.
Well, the Rams have been opting for the run primarily. However, both run and pass game have been so successful so far, wouldn't you say, Brendan?
I would certainly say so. The run game is what Brien McMahon's expecting all night long, and when they get their guys in space, it's deadly.
Passes, though, they haven't also necessarily been super long passes or massive displays of Cunny's skill so far. That one was just a pass to Telesco, and Telesco was behind the line of scrimmage still as he ran all those 54 yards to take it in to the end zone. But Groff is here for the kickoff once again, and it will be landing at about the McMahon 5-yard line as McMahon is, as the kick return, breaks one tackle and is taken down by the second
Kickoff return by number
Rams
98.
special team member.
Adrian Vega will be taken down at the 11-yard line. We've heard a lot about him, but really not able to get anything going tonight. So is the story of the Senators.
Same quarterback.
Callum Letters is still in the game despite severe struggles.
Well, he has his leg wrapped up there, and this would be a devastating blow for the Senators if he was to be out of the game injured. 6'3" quarterback, and he is under all sorts of pressure here as he has to throw it low and into the ground and around the 25-yard line to escape the Rams blitz, as 6 Rams players were pressuring him there.
It's been announced that we will be using a running clock for the rest of the game. Do with that information what you may.
Right now things go wrong. That's not a rule. It's an agreement they made on the field.
They made that agreement out on the field. It's not an official rule, but this will be another run here from the Senators as it stopped for a gain of only 1.
As I mentioned earlier, New Canaan still stacking the box on every play. They want McMahon to beat him through the air, and it doesn't seem like Callum Letters has the facilities for that.
Well, this running clock means that McMahon's struggles here on Dunning Field may be quicker, but Chris Silvestri, defensive coordinator, does not want that struggle to be an easy one. Letters in shotgun formation again, but there is a timeout called.
Timeout, Brien.
Well, if I were McMahon here, I would look to get a screen going to get Letters' confidence up. Still no complete passes on the night for him, but a few dump-offs might be able to get him going.
It is certainly difficult to identify a weakness in this New Canaan team.
It automatically focuses?
Yes. I got a triple lens thing.
Tremendous. Wow. That's what I got.
Yeah, not only has the pressure been terrific, this man coverage has been like flypaper.
Right. Open a new account. Open a new account, you gotta get binoculars.
And Letters is going to be stuffed for a loss of 1, and that will be a sack after fake handoff.
No gain on the play.
Number 91, Luke Thomas on the sack. He's another transfer, and he fit right in from New Canaan.
The Buses Bomb Squad leaders riling up the New Canaan fans who are all here dressed in black.
And the rain has really kicked back up again. That, as we could see from our press box, all the fans are breaking out umbrellas, but they're staying in the stands. They are really liking what they see.
That's a race off.
Fourth down.
And it will be Jack Volley on the kick again. And this one is tipped by the Rams and will go out at about the 31, 32-yard line.
That's a second block punt of the night. Even on so-called gimmies, Brien McMahon has not been able to get anything going.
The defensive line for New Canaan has just absolutely outclassed McMahon's offensive line. And it's really no surprise when you see some of the strength that New Canaan has on their lines. Here on offense now, one of those members being Ned Brady, the senior co-captain and West Point commit, playing at center. This is going to be a handoff here for a gain of about 5 yards and a foul on the play.
Some extracurriculars there after the play between
Senior captain Ned Brady and number 31, Jonathan Greco.
And I believe that this success can be credited to the culture that Lou Marinelli has built around this program. You grow up, almost every kid in New Canaan wants to be a football player for him. These guys are almost celebrities in the town, and that's what makes them work so much harder to make this team.
Well, it is clear from the number of fans out supporting tonight, New Canaan certainly is a football town, and the scoreboard shows it as well. That's going to be Dom Rasso taking off. My apologies, that was actually Hunter Telesco, the touchdown scorer. That one was a gain of about 8, but was still taken back, and it's going to be 3rd and 11 here for the Rams. Quick throw here to Max Alert, who breaks free of one tackle and is finally taken down at about the Rams' 6-yard line after a massive gain. Yet again, these short throws for Cunny and the Rams offense working out incredibly well as they pick up another 1st and goal opportunity.
Yeah, even with a 2nd and 25, New Canaan's able to convert, and they're in scoring position once again.
And here is the New Canaan touchdown, although there is a flag on the field. That's going to be a holding on New Canaan, and it will be called back.
That's on Max Alert, the receiver there, blocking for his fellow wide receiver. So the Rams behind the 6 once again. It'll be 1st down at the 19.
First down goal from the 19.
And it's going to be a handoff to Bailey in the backfield. And he only makes it as far as the 15. This is going to be 2nd and goal from the 15-yard line for the Rams.
And if I were offensive coordinator Dan Farina, I would be looking for another screen again. Brien McMahon has not had an answer for it.
Well, here's the trips right end. Max Alert losing his concentration and looking up the field. Drops that one.
Third and goal from the 15. I figure you're content with this lead, and I'd expect either another screen or a QB draw.
Here's the trips left once again. And this one is up. And it's a touchdown for New Canaan. That one is going to be brought home.
That's Hunter Bailey on the reception. He had nothing but green grass in front of him, Cole. All he had to do was bring it down, and he was sitting pretty in the end zone. 41-0 Rams, barring the extra point.
And that's something that offensive coordinator Dan Farina identified when I was speaking to him, was that they would often go for a trips formation and throw to their weak side. And Brien McMahon bit the bullet there. They took the bait, hook, line, and sinker. Here's the free kick. Sorry, the point after. My apologies from Ty Groff, and it is good.
Well, Cole, when Brien McMahon sees trips to play before and they do run a screen to that side, they're going to overcompensate, and leaving Bailey wide open for the touchdown there.
Once again, I'd consider this utter domination by the Rams. 42-0. 3:27 on the rolling clock here on Dunning Field.
And New Canaan student section is chanting, "Drive home safely." It is not even halftime.
Well, the Rams' first outing of the year was up against Bridgeport Central, who has not had a strong football presence in the FSEC in the past. And the Rams were able to win 49-0. Once again, 42 of their points coming in the first half. It's very possible that we are seeing an identical scoreline here.
We're off to kick off once again.
Another great kick by him as it's caught at about the 5-yard line. And their receiver, number 9, Adrian Vega, makes it all the way to the to the halfway mark.
That's what I've been talking about all night, how their kickoff return is the strongest point of their game. Adrian Vega has game-breaking speed, and we just saw it there.
Well, Vega is only listed on our rosters as 5'4" and 135 pounds, but that made absolutely no difference as he was able to break through 3 New Canaan tackles before making it all the way to the Brien McMahon 47-yard line here.
Let's see if the Senators can score before the half. New Canaan will receive the second half kickoff.
And that's going to be a tackle in the backfield on Jonathan Agonia for the Senators.
Second and 13 for the Senators. Coach Silvestri, while it is a blowout, he certainly wants to keep the donut on the scoreboard for McMahon. Great pressure once again from the Rams as Colin Letters still yet to complete a pass. And number 56, junior Will Pepe, will check into the game. He's a real locker room guy. All these players love him. And it's great to see him checking into the game. He's going to be here next year, so you really want to develop that talent.
Well, that's what a game like this offers, like you said, Brendan. And here's Letters dropping back and under tons of pressure, scrambling and taken down at the Brien McMahon 34-yard line for a loss of 12. That's going to end the first half.
And that was Will Pepe on the sack there. He's only in the game for 1 or 2 plays.
Send it down to the field for a tribute to
Brian Wilderman.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been over a decade. New Canaan football team faces its 3-game Brien honor. Brian family and friends will not be happy to carry on the tradition with the first home game of every season to be played in this game. Thank you to the entire New Canaan High School football program for continuing
Brian Wilderman was just a tremendous kid. I mean, he wasn't very boisterous. He was kind of quiet. He's a tremendous wrestler, all state, but he was a linebacker, tough. Was a kid that really led by example. He just showed up every day, worked his rear end off, and always seemed to be around the football, which was amazing to me. Because he had to try to keep his weight down, but yet, you know, he wanted to make sure that he had substance enough in his own body to be able to take the punishment of football, which he did very well. And unfortunately, he passed. And guys like Brian McIntosh and others have really rang the bell to remember Brian. It's a shame he left us way too early. Tremendous potential, but you know there's all kinds of curveballs that life throws you. You know, hopefully that's helping our kids deal with catastrophes like that when they happen in their own life. Because more times than not, with all of us, those things will happen. And how are we going to handle that? You know, Brian really exemplified all that we try to give our kids as far as work ethic and, you know, just being a sportsman, good sportsmanship, hardworking, tough. He just represented everything that we want to project to our kids.
Good game that I'm missing.
Well, before this, the only game that I got to in high school was the St. Joe's one. I'm going to try to get you a better microphone set up. Oh, thank you. Is it cut off? No, it's not. It is. Emily's going to turn it back on. So until you turn it on, and then come back here, I'll have Karen run and just tell her to turn your mic back on.
I can do that.
Well, whenever you're about to start. Yeah.
Where are you here?
I'm going to go get you down now. And just remember to turn the words on mic back on.
Yeah.
All right, you're great.
Yogi.
Make the best out of it. That's all you do.
Really?
And you just say, it can't get worse.
Sure. Little, yeah. Well, that's great. Very nice. Very nice. I'll read this later. It's a little small for me to read. by members of this group back is Willie Mays, who stayed too long in the field. And at the end of his career, he got out 5 years earlier, but he hung in there. Yes, I heard that. Yeah. Good for you. Yeah.
And before we head to our halftime break, we would like to thank our sponsors.
First, platinum sponsor Walter Stewart's. Walter Stewart's Market has supported the Canaan Rams athletics and the entire New Canaan community for years. Walter Stewart's is your fresh local market. Also our platinum sponsors, we'd like to thank as well as Kristen Harrah, the premier real estate partnership in Fairfield County for all your real estate needs.
We would also keep your headset on.
27 number new test. We'll be out of here before 9, but that was as of like 2 minutes ago, so some of those might be halftime now. Oh, I was just telling my friend Brandon here. Brandon, you know Mr. Abraham? Before the game. Brandon, yep. Yeah.
Once again, we'd like to apologize for all of the technical difficulties so far, including our headsets not working, our cameras, but we will only improve from here. Before we head to the half, we would like to take a moment to thank our sponsors. This game is sponsored by our NC Rams All Sports Booster Club, Platinum and Gold sponsors.
First off, platinum sponsor, Walter Stewart's. Walter Stewart's Market has supported New Canaan Rams athletics and the entire New Canaan community for years. Walter Stewart's is your fresh local market. Melissa Ramboya and Kristen Harrah, the premier real estate partnership in Fairfield County for all your real estate needs.
And we'd like to thank our platinum sponsors and NCHS alumni and my uncles, Leo and Steve Carl of Carl Chevrolet, who've been proud supporters of local athletic programs for generations. Their dealership has been serving Fairfield County since 1927. Their team is ready to assist with all of your automotive needs.
And finally, our gold sponsor. Renaissance Partners is a family-owned and New Canaan-based residential building and remodeling company, serving all of Fairfield County. Thank you to all our sponsors, and we couldn't have done it without your support.
And before we send it off at half, I would like to send a shout out to all of the NCTV crew working alongside Brendan and I tonight. Thank you, and we will see you after the half. And welcome back for the second half of action. One-sided action, but still action. It's the New Canaan Rams taking on the Brien McMahon Senators here at Dunning Field. For the first time in 653 days, we do have high school football action once again.
Before we get kicked off here in this second half of play, we'd like to hit you with some scores around the FCAC. At halftime, Danbury is leading Stanford 14-6. Late in the second quarter, St. Joe's, the #1 team in the state and the favorite to win once again, they are up 28-6 against Staples. As well as one more score for you. Norwalk up big, 25-6 against Fairfield Ward.
Well, as New Canaan is receiving this half, what do you think is the only way that Brien McMahon could get back into the game? How can they shut down this fast New Canaan offense?
Well, Brien McMahon is simply outnumbered on the field, which really shows. This is why New Canaan's able to run so many plays, run the hurry-up offense, and McMahon's really on their heels because they don't have the personnel to sub in and out regularly.
Well, New Canaan does have a team of rostered 96 players. Yes, 96 players. They have all but 4 numbers taken up on the roster. And we do have a rolling clock here as senior Connor Bailey takes it all the way back to the Rams 49.
And this will be the 10th play of the game that the Rams have had from their own territory. The third offensive play, 7 have been kickoffs and 6 have been after touchdowns.
It really has been domination by the Rams so far. McMahon has yet to get a first down and have opted to punt on each of their drives. Here is senior captain Ned Brady on the snap. And we are going to be getting some action of the New Canaan backup quarterback, junior Ty Groff. Groff is also the special teams kicker for the Rams, and he is regarded as a great athlete here for the program.
As I mentioned earlier, a lot of kickers, punters, they specialize at one position, but Groff, he's their backup quarterback too, and likely the starter for next year.
And he opts for the handoff as New Canaan breaks one tackle and another and makes it all the way to the McMahon 39.
And that is Eddie Lacayo chugging for a first down. They could not bring him down on that one.
Some great work by him to break the tackles there. The New Canaan offense does try to move at an extremely quick pace to not give the defense any time here, as quoted from defensive coordinator coach Chris Silvestri. It will be a handoff again and a gain of 4 here by Ryan Connolly.
Groff's fellow junior getting his second carry of the night.
Well, this is just the time where they can see how well these juniors and sophomores hold up against a Brien McMahon starting lineup on defense here.
Well, they haven't been able to stop the starters, so maybe it'll be more evenly matched this time around.
An unfortunate reality as Ty Groff hands it off for the 3rd time. But this one is stopped for no gain. Connolly with his third carry in a row here.
Third and medium here. I would expect to see Groff's first pass attempt of the game.
3rd and 6 here, and Ryan Connolly is not going to get anywhere again. It'll be a 4th and 8 here for the Rams.
Well, I know how Ty Groff must feel it. He must be nervous. It's his first varsity snaps, first varsity pass attempt, but that throw just seemed a little bit rushed to me.
Fourth and 7 with the punter on the field. This will be only New Canaan's second punt of the day. And it's going to go all the way to the to the McMahon 4, and will bounce out for a touchback.
And New Canaan's second team defense will check in here. Callum Letters still in at quarterback for the Senators. He really struggled in the first half. Still yet to complete a pass in this one.
Well, we can see he's got his legs taped up after a hard hit. He will drop back here, but and that will be a completion, his first of the game, but a flag on the field.
It's Jack Volley, the 6'4", 215 senior.
That's going to be a push on the Rams.
Matthew Kelly with the penalty. His father, Matthew Kelly Sr., a legendary player for New Canaan High School. Linebacker, went on to Boston College and the New York Giants. He is in New Canaan High School's Hall of Fame and 3rd all-time in tackles at Boston College.
New Canaan's backup line has still been doing some work against this McMahon offense, as Letters was under pressure last drive. We will see how this snap goes. The blitz is here, and that's going to be a tackle for a loss of 5.
That's Matthew Salmini, the junior. Went untouched, screaming like an eagle in there for an easy tackle for loss.
Brendan, you continue to amaze me with the fantastic sayings, but you are very right. That was an absolutely unopposed tackle, and Letters was not able to do anything about it.
Second and 13 for the Senators.
And Letters opts to sneak here, but is taken down.
And a strong tackle by number 56, once again, Will Pepe.
Pepe certainly making a name for himself and giving Coach Lou Marinelli something to consider in the upcoming games.
Pardon me, that was actually number 52, Javi Perez Soto. Third and long for the Senators.
And that's going to be a botched handoff as McMahon dives on it to keep possession of the football. But it will be a loss of 5. And there's another McMahon player down on the field, as you can see on the far right side of your screen there, just going out of view.
And
that is number 3, William Moy, the running back who is down.
This is an all too familiar sight for McMahon. This is their 4th player to go down tonight.
And this will be a timeout here as the McMahon medical staff takes a look at Moy. He jogs off the field. It's good to see that he is all right. And that's going to be number 19, Pablo Gomez, checking into the game. Two very different players here. Moy 6'3" compared to Gomez's 5'7" build.
And this is an all too familiar sight for Coach Jeff Quiroga and the Senators.
It's going to be number 8, Jack Valle on the punt again on a 4th and 18.
McMahon has punted on every possession except for one. That one ended in a pick 6.
And that's a really good recovery there by senior captain Connor Bailey as he takes it all the way to the McMahon 35.
Bailey stumbled, but he's able to keep his footing and turn it into a really nice return.
Starting quarterback Henry Cunny is on the sidelines looking ecstatic with the team's performance as junior backup Ty Groff hands it off to Connolly yet again. And Connolly breaks free of one tackle, making it all the way to the 26.
Appears to be
just a yard short.
Just shy of the first down. Second down and about a foot here, as you can expect the Rams to just plug this one right up the gut. Play is called dead, and it is a timeout. Charge to the Senators. And if you're McMahon, I know you're not really expecting to win this game, but you really would like to see some positives out of this one. Maybe get something going into next week.
Well, a really big positive would be their first points on the board on the season, even if it is a field goal.
Forget points on the board. They have yet to complete a pass or gain a first down.
I believe they did complete one pass, however,
I'm sorry.
You're very right. The first down has been eluding this McMahon offense all game. Once again, it is 42-0 with 1:12 seconds on the clock. And this one is taken all the way to the 8-yard line.
That's
by Thomas Garcia.
Thomas Garcia,
Sophomore.
only a sophomore, and he runs like a boy. He's a big boy.
Well, his brother Nick Garcia also played football, but he played for St. Luke's.
Well, Nick currently goes to high school, transferred back, and he is a lacrosse commit to Washington and Lee University.
New Canaan still looking extremely threatening, and you wouldn't even know that this was their so-called second string on the field right now. They have had the run game working out all drive as the flag is down on the field.
Flag in the secondary. That's going to be a delay game on New Canaan. Couldn't get the ball off there. And while what has impressed me with New Canaan, Cole, is that they've been able to play this game entirely out of the spread formation and still be able to dominate the line of scrimmage, which if you're able to keep your opponent on their heels by running the spread, running no huddle, and you're able to succeed in the run game, you're not going to be stopped.
New Canaan certainly does have the speed working for them. And both the offensive coordinator, Dan Farino, and defensive coordinator, Chris Silvestri, said that part of that strength did come from how quickly they were able to get the play call onto the field and how versatile their team could be. But if it ain't broke, don't fix it, as you might say, Brendan.
It's a great saying. One advantage that New Canaan might have over the Senators is that they did participate in a private league last year, if only for a few games. McMahon, no football at all, but New Canaan was able to get a little bit of stuff going, which I'm sure helped them out coming into tonight.
That's going to be Thomas Garcia on the carry again, but there was no gain on that play. It's going to be second down and goal for the Rams.
And the Rams seem to be slowing down their pace a little bit. Really a topic we've talked about all night. Coach Dan Farino wanted to up the tempo and put McMahon on their heels, but it seems like they're content with the score that they have right now.
And that's going to be another tackle for a loss of yards here on number 48, Thomas Garcia, yet again.
Tom Haggerty and Charlie Chisholm are going to check into the game at wide receiver for the Rams. 3rd and 17, I would expect to see some sort of short pass or halfback draw, but I could be wrong with these younger guys in the game. There's a chance Lou Marinelli might take the shot.
And it will be a fake handoff and taken in for the touchdown by Ty Groff.
I mean, McMahon, they'd been biting on the run to Garcia. He'd been stifled the last 2 attempts, and they fell for it once again as Ty Groff was untouched into the end zone from 17 yards out.
Well, that had nearly everyone on the field fooled. And they bit that fake run from Garcia yet again, who had received the ball in the last 2 or 3 plays.
And it's
going
becoming
to be Groff again here. And it's going to be a fake kick and taken in by number 27, Alex Benevento.
Alex Benevento, star baseball player for the Rams, all FCX West as a freshman last year. Affectionately known as Benny, and he gets his first points as a varsity football player tonight. So the Rams quite literally one-up themselves from last week.
Well, once again, it was a 49-0 demolition of Bridgeport Central away for the Rams, and today, 50-0 with 8:45 on the rolling clock still left in this 4th quarter of action.
And New Canaan is not joking around here. They seem to be state championship or bust. They're currently ranked 3rd in the coaches poll out of Class L.
And they are ranked 5th in the state by Game Time CT.
2 Class L teams ahead of them are number 1 St. Joe's and number 4 Newtown. as well as number 2, Darien, and number 3, Greenwich in double L.
Looking ahead, I should say, to the rest of the season. We will be able to bring you 4 more football streams after this one, including the annual Turkey Bowl against Darien.
This year will be the first time the Turkey Bowl has took place in New Canaan in a very long time, Cole, I believe since 2013. So that's going to be a special environment. Certainly don't want to miss it.
That kickoff sent by Ty Groff all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The kick returner for Brien McMahon not even bothering to run back to call the fair catch.
And I'm going to bring this up once again. You said that Coach Chris Silvestri's goal in every game was to make sure that the other team gave up. And 50-0, Senators haven't even got over the 50-yard line. They seem pretty dejected.
This will be a completion, however, and a gain of 5. I'd say probably the biggest gain of yardage all night for the Senators, which is an astounding stat.
And Brien McMahon has sat Callum Letters and brought in backup quarterback, sophomore Eamon Boyle.
And already under pressure and throwing the ball out to the sideline.
And even with this second team defense, this group of linemen has been relentless all night long. Rams will be on the road against Daniel Hand next week. Daniel Hand, certainly a power in Connecticut high school football. Shockingly fell in week 1 to Fairfield Prep 29-16, but certainly not a team you take lightly.
And if we look ahead to October 1st, which will be the next home game for the Rams, we will be streaming it here on our YouTube channel. It's the Rams taking on North Haven. And here's Boyle, and he is sacked. Never mind, that is going to be called back.
And defensively for the Rams, that is Walter Schmidt. Matthew Axon. Senior fan favorite. First sack of the night for him. And
these are working. You guys can use the bird dog here on camera at the end. Okay?
Senators are backed up to their own 5-yard line, 4th and 25. And time again, we've seen this from the Senators. 4th and a country mile and forced to punt.
And it's going to be a
Fake punt.
And to no avail, they took the fake punt all the way to the 10-yard line, but nowhere near the 25 yards needed. And they fall 17 yards short.
Interesting decision from the Senators there. Back on your own 5-yard line. 4th and 25. I don't see what Coach Jeff Quiroga was thinking there. Maybe he just wanted to get some momentum going into next week, but really a baffling decision from him.
Definitely does not make a lot of sense, and it puts New Canaan in an absolutely ideal position.
And the Rams will take over with their best field position in the night, from the 13-yard line.
And And that's going to be a breakaway run that is taken all the way to the McMahon 2-yard line.
And that was number 46, James Chaney on the run. First and goal, knocking on the end zone once again.
And it's going to be another run. This one also stuffed at the 2-yard line. Maybe for a loss of 1, actually. And it will be 2nd and goal for the Rams.
And it may seem like Brien McMahon's down and out, but this could be an important stop for them. It's been a demeaning loss, but you want to keep one more score off the board, and you really don't want to lose by an even larger margin.
Very true. 1 second on the play clock there. And
it looks like
that's
we'll
gonna
have a
be
delay
called
game.
A delay of game.
Play clock was down to 0. The delay game was not called, but once the clock hits 0, there's an offsides on the Rams. Really can't blame them there. Canaan kind of had to run a play. Loss of 5 yards and no loss of down nonetheless.
Well, there is 1 minute and 11 seconds left on this clock in the 4th quarter. No chance of anything coming from Brien McMahon as the score stays at 50-0.
Nicky Churin at center for the Rams, younger brother of former Ram Alex Chur, who had a great career and is playing at Rochester.
And yet again, running back stuffed at the line of scrimmage.
I'm sorry, that was Ben Sibbett in at center for the Rams. As it looks like the Rams will run this out for a 50-0 victory.
That was a dominant performance from the Rams and an astounding loss for Brien McMahon. They've had 4 injuries, 7 touchdowns conceded, and countless punts. It has been a night to forget for the Senators and one to remember for the Rams as they top the Brien McMahon Senators 50-0. Brendan, who would your highlight player be?
Well, certainly Henry Cunny would have to be up there. 2 early rushing touchdowns, as well as the 50-yard screen to Hunter Telesco. And he really stood out. Big shoes to fill, and he certainly impressed tonight.
Well, that is the one thing that Coach Lou Marinelli did highlight in his preview with Game Time CT was how proficient Cunny can be on the run, and how they really haven't had a quarterback like him for about 15 years. And before we sign off, we would like to take a look once again at our sponsors. This game is sponsored by our NC Rams All Sports Booster Club Platinum and Gold sponsors. We'd like to thank our Platinum sponsor, Walter Stewart's. Walter Stewart's Market has supported NC Rams athletics and the entire New Canaan community for years. Walter Stewart's is your fresh local market. We'd also like to thank our Platinum sponsors, Melissa Rambuya and Kristen Harrow, the premier real estate business partnership in Fairfield County for all of your real estate needs. We'd also like to thank our Platinum sponsors and NCHS alumni Leo and Steve Carl of Carl Chevrolet, who've been proud supporters of local athletic programs for generations. Their dealership has been serving Fairfield County since 1927. Their team is ready to assist with all of your automotive needs. We would also like to thank our gold sponsor. Renaissance Partners is a family-owned and New Canaan-based residential building and remodeling company serving all of Fairfield County. Again, a big thank you to all our sponsors. The New Canaan Rams All Sports Booster Club supports all New Canaan High School athletics. Go Rams. And now, it is I, Cole Schubert, and Brendan Tiscornia alongside me signing off on this game. Thank you to the crew of NCTV, and we will be back on Tuesday, I believe, for soccer. Thank you, and have a good night.